friends. Happy Halloween. Today we're reading a story to find out what sinks and what floats. We also are doing an experiment today to test some of these same objects to find out if they float when you put them in water, if they stay on top, or if they sink and go to the bottom. And we've had some kind of surprising results from our experiment so far. So I want to know what makes things float and what makes things sink. Okay, we have a picture of a rubber duck, a sponge, a straw, and a cork. I would think that big things sink, right? They're heavy and small things float because they're light, maybe? Let's find out. So my rubber duck, that looks big. I think it will sink. And my straw looks small. So that should float, right? Hmm. Wait, all of these things float. Even the big rubber duck, even the big sponge. They all float because they have air pockets inside them. Do you feel the air around you? It's very light. Air goes on top of the water. And all these things are light because they have air inside of them. So they float too. Air pockets help things float because air is lighter than water. And you can see the air pockets in the sponge, in the rubber duck, in the straw, and even in the brown cork, which is made of wood. Who knew wood has air inside? Look at these things. Will they float? The screw, the key, the spoon, the penny. They all look like they're made of metal. Think of a metal spoon. Does it have air pockets inside like the rubber duck? Is it squishy like the sponge? I don't think so. So my guess is these things will sink. Let's find out. They will sink. Why? Because these things are made of metal and they have no air pockets inside. But then why does the metal ship float? That's a good question. Because there are lots of air pockets and air spaces inside of a ship. Think of all the rooms that are filled with air. Think of all the spaces inside of a ship filled with air. Even though the outside of a ship may be made of metal and not have any air inside, inside there is air, and that helps it float. A metal ship floats because its shape is like a boat. Look at this orange. Will this orange float? Yes, the rind of an orange has lots of tiny little air pockets. You can see them in the picture here, and that helps them to float. What about now? Will it float without the rind or the skin? No, there are no air pockets, so this orange will sink to the bottom. Now it's time for you to do your own experiment at home. Collect 6 different things. Some of the things we used today were a leaf, a pumpkin, an apple, an acorn, a stone, and you place them in the water and see, will they float on top because they have air pockets, or will they sink to the bottom because they're a little heavy and don't have any air pockets? And we'll find out when we do our experiment today, friends. Have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye-bye.